You gotta look forward, buddy. You're gonna fall over. Hi guys, and welcome back to Jazzy61. So today I'm doing another haul for you guys. The things that I was unable to get from Kroger, I attempted to get today. Ignore my pimple, guys. I don't know where it came from, but it's there. So I'm just leaving it alone because I want to mess with it, but I'm not going to. Anywho, so I got some things from Walmart because the grocery store pickup worked today, which is great. I actually placed the order yesterday. No, Saturday. At like midnight, because you know they only give you 2 days where I'm at, so you place it and get it as soon as you can or the spots will be gone. Walmart did great, as they always do. The order was ready 15 minutes before my actual time window. Supposed to be from 12 to 1. It was ready at 11:45. We just went up there and picked it up. It took about 10 minutes from the time we pulled into the parking lot to the time we got everything and was leaving. About 10 minutes. So they did amazing as usual. I'm going to show you guys everything that we were able to get today. I also noticed, I think that there's things that they won't put online just so they have it in store. I was looking for paper towels online because I was just going to go ahead and get them because we go through them kind of quickly with the little one and wasting things all the time. And they didn't have any online. But in the parking lot, there were a lot of people coming out of the store paper towels. So I don't know if they just stocked them or they just didn't have any. I don't know. I ordered some disinfectant wipes online from Walmart.com. They're supposed to get here on Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. And if not, then I'll try to see if they have any pop up online here. And then I'll just make an order for enough to go up there and buy them and roll with it that way. So let's go ahead and get into the haul. So we didn't get as much as we normally get. We were just trying to get, I was trying to get everything that we weren't able to get from Kroger the other day. So here is a roast. I'll probably cook it on Sunday for Easter. I did get the fish. It is frozen. I didn't have any other choice, and I wanted some catfish. So I got it. Is this boneless and skinless or just skinless? I hope it ain't got no bones in it, because that's going to be rough. Anywho, we got 2 things of dog food. Our dog was out completely. We usually get the smaller containers because he eats smaller amounts, but they didn't have those. So we got these. This is the one he normally eats, but they had to substitute this one, which is fine. He's eaten this one before, so hopefully he'll be perfectly okay with that. I got another jug of milk, a gallon this time, because that half gallon did not make it. Got another thing of the baby water. We used a jug since last time I got some, so I decided to get another one. I got some thick and fluffy Belgian style waffles. We were out, except for I had 2 more left. My husband is about to eat those right now, so we are out of waffles. I got some burger buns. They didn't have any at the other place, remember? So I got the buns. I did go ahead and get some tortilla shells so that I can make something, a taco of some sort maybe, or more fajitas or chicken tacos, not sure yet. Another loaf of bread. We've gone through one of the 2 that we had. I got my son some more forks and spoons. He's been trying to figure out how to hold them himself, so I went ahead and got him some more of those. I also got him some rubber bands for his hair. I'm going to start doing his hair differently, and I need rubber bands for that. We got some real mayo for when I make burgers and things. Like that better than Miracle Whip. 2 things of the apple, chicken, and rice that he likes. This is the stuff for his hair. We were completely out of, I think got maybe a squirt left of it in there. So I had to get another one of those. 2 heads of cabbage. I just wanted some cabbage. Probably going to cook this next Sunday as well for Easter. Not 100% sure, but I believe that's what I'm going to do with these 2 heads of cabbage. Here is some more vanilla ice cream. I just learned my son likes it. As I was eating mine, he started eating it too. It didn't make it. I have 2 things of salt because I had none. I was using my husband's sea salt flakes and they kept crunching in my teeth. Did not like that feeling. We got some Glade carpet freshener. I just used all of ours up when I was cleaning the living room the other day. 2 canisters of whipped cream. I got a huge thing of strawberries in there. No whipped cream. So I got some. It was supposed to be 2. It was substitution. So they gave, I'm supposed to be 1, excuse me. It was substitution. They gave me 2. Another thing of mushrooms. I got a couple packs of Kool-Aid. Different flavor than what we have already. Some manwich to go with some of that beef we got in the freezer. Some Parmesan and Romano. It was supposed to be just Parmesan, but the one I ordered they were out of, so they gave me this instead. I got myself some more mozzarella cheese because we were out of it completely, and they had my Starbucks creamer. Yes! Okay guys, so I wanted to come on and let you guys know the things that were substituted. The substitution were the cheese mix. It was supposed to be just the Parmesan, but it ended up being a Parmesan Romano mix, and it's not the cold version. It's like kind of a grated dry version. So it won't melt the same as the other one that I usually use, but that's fine. Another thing was the Ready Whip. It was supposed to be a big container. They didn't have the big one, so they just gave me 2 small ones. And our dog's food. We had 2 of one particular type, which was the one that was on the right side. But the one on the left, like I said, he's had before, so that's perfectly fine. It's just that he needed food. He didn't have any food. Like, he just ran out, I think, last night. So this worked out timing-wise perfectly. The other thing that there were 2 things they did not have. You want to wave, buddy? There were 2 things they did not have. There was a macaroni and cheese that we normally get. They were out of it. And they were also out of Powerade. So I could not get the other Powerade that I was trying to get. So everything else was perfect. It was in stock. Everything was fine with it. So Walmart does it again. I will be continuing with Walmart. Actually, I'll just have to wait for a time slot. But I'm not, can't do it. That's going to be a no for me. Overall, I spent a little over $100 on everything with the things that they ended up not having and the substitutions, I believe. Because normally if there's a substitution and they either going to give you 2 of the smaller version, or they'll give you the next size up, and they'll still keep the price the same as what you're originally going to pay. So the price is about $10, $11 less because of the things that they did not have. But overall, great experience. I'm glad we ended up going back to Walmart again. I'm glad they had a time slot. Be on the lookout at your Walmarts for paper towels and things like that. And the disinfectant wipes, because I'm pretty sure they're going to have some soon. They keep restocking things, but I don't think they're putting them online. You have to kind of go in and see if they have it. The ones that I got online was different than what I normally buy. The ones that I ordered, we'll have to see if they're going to come. I'll probably have to call and make sure they didn't cancel anything or they didn't run out.
A few moments later.
You guys know every so often I like to just completely rearrange, you want to speak. I like to completely rearrange and redo my bedroom. And because I guess I kind of get used to the way it feels for a while, and then I'm like, I don't want to feel it anymore. I don't like it anymore. I want to change it. So that's kind of where I am today. So I'm going to go ahead and change my bedroom around again. I just like doing that. Ignore this, guys. My skin does its own thing lately and I don't like it, but I'm trying to work with it. So I'm going to figure out a new facial routine. I'll let you guys know what that is, especially if it works. So I'm going to go ahead and get into cleaning up this bedroom. Come along with me. Oh, but before I get started, I want to say thank you guys to all of my new subscribers. I see you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are the greatest. And if you're not subscribed and you're watching this video, but you like some of the videos that you see on my channel, please go ahead and like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to get into the video now. I just wanted to come on here and say thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you to my subscribers who've been here for a bit longer, and the ones who've been here from the beginning. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all. So let's get into this video. Okay guys, so this is the current state of my master. As you can see, it is kind of in shambles. It just looks really crazy right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get it going. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the comforters, the sheets, all the bedding off, not just our bed, but our little one's bed. That's the pillowcases and everything. I'm going to go ahead and wash those. I try to do this at least once a week, and this is just to give the room a refresh. I just like clean sheets, guys. Once I get everything pulled off of the beds, I'm going to go ahead and throw them into the washer. I do have to wash the comforter for our king size bed and for and everything else separately, just because our comforter is really big. We do not have one of those really big washers, so it takes up all of the space in the washer. It takes up all the space in the dryer, and if you don't do them separately, everything won't get clean and it won't dry. So here I'm just putting in the sheets and things now. I'm going to put the comforter in once this gets done and everything gets turned off. Now I'm going to go ahead and start moving things out of our bedroom. When I rearrange, because I rearrange every time I clean our room up, I have to move everything out of the room, kind of give it more space for me to shift things around. And so I get a good view of where I want to move things, and then I start pushing things out of the way. So you see me moving the changing table out, which is kind of being used right now as our son's dresser because he doesn't have one in our bedroom. So I wanted to get it out of the way first because it had wheels and it slid somewhere nice and tucked off into a corner. And I'm going to go ahead and move out our dresser next, I believe. Once I get the dresser and the mirror and everything moved out of the way, it gives me more floor space to where I can put down the carpet fresh and vacuum like I always do. And I'm going to do that every time I move anything. I'm going to put a little carpet fresh down. I'm going to vacuum up the floors, and then I'm going to start to relocate things. So I'm going to go ahead and be quiet, turn on a little bit of music, and let you guys enjoy the video. So I just decided to move everything to the opposite wall that it was on. The first thing to be moving is our son's bed. He's still in the room with us, yes. He has not got to where he wants to sleep through the night for some reason. He seems to be afraid. Every night that he wakes up, he looks for us, and if we're not there, he kind of panics and freaks out. So we're working on finding ways to get him to sleep through the night better, but right now, he's just not there yet. So for now, we think it's best to keep him in the room with us so he at least won't be afraid. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving everything around the way I would like it to be moved. I usually don't need much help doing this. Pretty strong woman, I guess, but I think most mamas are. So I tend to get everything moved rather quickly. The issue that I have is my little one keeps walking in and out of the room, and I don't want to knock him over or bump him or hit him with anything. So I typically have to pause to make sure he's not behind things so he doesn't get hurt. But once I get everything moved, it's going to be the same process. Put down some carpet fresh, vacuum the floors, and then just relocate everything to the place that I want it to be. This little area is where our dog sits normally. That little mat came from the Dollar Tree. And the reason why I put a little mat down there is if you've seen my previous videos, then you know my dog is a messy eater. He is really tiny, but he gets food everywhere. In every crack, every crevice. You can see some of the food on the baseboard, on the walls. That is my husband's responsibility to clean the walls and things like that, the baseboards. Or not the walls themselves, but to do anything that our dog messes up, that's one of his only chores. So I leave it there for him. But he is a really, really messy eater. So I have to go through and vacuum not just his little area where he eats, but around his little area where he eats. And the rug is there just to keep his food off the floor. He eats wet food. And if you let it get on the floor, it kind of gets stuck and trapped into the carpets. So I have to make sure that I have something under his food and his water bowl just to make sure that it does not get into our carpets and it doesn't stick and damage any of the floors. So my next task is knocking out this laundry. I have this nasty habit of allowing my laundry to kind of pile up. So I'll do loads and loads of laundry and then I'll just let them sit for a day or two before I fold them. So I have about 3 loads of clothes to fold up and I still have stuff in the washer and in the dryer. Ignore me singing, you guys. My son and I listen to music about this time of day. It's usually old school and that's why he's standing there. You might see him start dancing or something like that. And mama's right behind him just jamming too. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of this laundry taken care of so that when the stuff comes out of the washer and the dryer, I don't have to pile it on top of what I already need to do. So the next task is putting our beds back together. I do start with our son's bed. Our sheets and things just came out of the dryer. I start with his bed just because it's easier. His stuff is like so much lighter than ours. If you're wondering about his sheets and everything, they came from Babies R Us before it closed down. We got everything for half off. We got his bed from there. We got his changing table, his sheets. We got some bottles. We got walkers and strollers. We got so much stuff from there. It was great. So that's where everything came from, if you're wondering. I try to do his sheets twice a week instead of once because he seems to get really hot. So we have to strip him down most nights just to make sure he doesn't sweat or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and do ours as well. Our comforter is still in the dryer. You have to rotate it a couple times. As I said before, our dryer is kind of small. So if you don't rotate the blanket around, it will stay damp. And then you're going to have some spots that are damp, some spots that are dry. It's a whole mess. So I have to run it through at least twice. I am going to be using baby powder on our bed. I don't use it on his. It is cornstarch baby powder. We do not use talc. I don't think they even make it with talc anymore. But I'm going to go ahead and get everything fixed and put back together. So now I'm going to start prepping dinner. I usually put a little oil in there on my meat. Those are steaks. I'm going to put some seasoning on top of it. The seasoning is kind of whatever you guys like. You know, it's kind of seasoned to taste. I sprinkle it all the way around and make sure I get some of them towards the bottom of the bowl as well. And then once I do that, I'm just going to put the lid on and shake it. This is much easier to me than laying it out somewhere or putting it in bowls, because sometimes the seasoning and things get stuck to my bowls, and I do not like that because it comes off in other foods. So this works great for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and rotate my blanket for the first time. It was damp in the center. It balls up and then that middle piece gets really wet. So I'm just turning it inside out. You gotta look forward, buddy. You're gonna fall over. Good job, bud. Gizmo. Or Kyle wanted to want Gizmo. He demands his leash every day now as we walk back home on our walks. You gotta pull it tight, buddy. He's gonna get trapped in there. You gotta put his front leg, I think, under there. It's okay, buddy. He's gonna give it back to you. You gotta look ahead, buddy. You're gonna fall over. You can't look back at everybody else, bud. You gotta look where you're walking. So we gotta go upstairs because Kyle don't want to let go of the leash, so Claire has to carry him. He want to put the leash up himself. Good job, bud. So next I'm going to go ahead and start cooking dinner. When it comes to cooking, you guys, I always feel like it's kind of what you prefer and what your family prefers. We eat a lot of baked foods. So for me, baking things is much easier. I do fry things, but I fry it every now and again. The grease gets kind of heavy, so we eat things either baked or grilled most of the time. So right now I'm just going to lay these out on a baking sheet or a baking pan with some foil in it. I'm going to clean that out in a second because I clean as I go. And the next thing I'm going to do is put a couple onions in there. We do have pre-cut up veggies in our fridge. We like onion in our food, so I'm going to put those in there. And the way I'm going to be cooking this in the oven, I'm going to cover it, and it's going to help those onions cook. And what you're seeing on the steak is that seasoning. It's going to all cook together and be delicious. So now I'm going to go ahead and start prepping my potatoes. I do like my potatoes fresh. I do mash my potatoes every time I make potatoes. I do not do the box potatoes anymore. I mean, if you like that, that's great. I'm not knocking anything because I have eaten the potatoes out of the box. But once I started making them like this, I hadn't gone back yet. So I'm going to go ahead and peel these potatoes. I'm going to do about 2 of them since there's only 3 of us and we're trying to cook what we need and kind of save things going through this time. So I'm going to peel about 2 potatoes and I'm going to slice them down like this into about 6 cubes for each section. And I'm going to do that for both potatoes before I go ahead and start boiling them. Now that I have the water on the stove, I'm going to turn it on to about medium-high heat and add some salt to the water. This way the salt kind of boils into the potatoes as they go, and it doesn't take much to add after you get through cooking them. Normally I don't have to add much salt after the fact, but this is just a really good step. I do it when I do everything, especially like noodles. Once I get my water to a boil, I'm going to start adding my potatoes in. I don't know what I was doing, you guys. Normally I use the lid, but something about having this camera right here, I kind of lost my way. So I went ahead and did the way I normally do it now, just to go ahead and get those in there once the water has reached a boil. So now that everything has boiled down and it's cooked, I can cut through the potatoes with a spoon. That's how I know that they're done. I'm going to go ahead and drain off a good chunk of that water and start to mash. Yes, I mash my potatoes by hand, you guys. I don't know. I'm old fashioned that way. I really like the texture of them when there's still a little bit of a lump in there, but not too much lump. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really good to me. And while the potatoes are hot, I'm going to also add my butter in there. I try to do this while they're still steaming like you see right now, because sometimes if you wait too long and you try to add the butter in there, it does not melt. And you have to try to put it back on the stove, and it's a whole mess because they can burn. So I'm going to go ahead and add my butter now. You see me over there cleaning off my masher. This butter is not the normal one I usually use. I use Imperial or Country Crock, but they were out. So we had to use this, I believe it's Land O'Lakes or something like that. Butter, it's a lot harder. I don't know, it's not as soft or as smooth to break down. So that's what I'm going to use here right now. I'm going to spread it or stir it in best of my ability. And it gets that really good buttery flavor. It's really good butter. It tastes good, but it just, I don't know, it's just a little bit harder than I'm used to. But if the end result is good, I don't mind. So here's what our meal looks like. I did not show you guys the shrimp because it's just a chaotic recipe, but it was delicious. All right, guys, my comforter is out and on our bed now. It is nighttime, as you probably can guess. Let me flip the camera around. Hold on. Okay, guys, it is night now. I'm going to go take a shower and get myself ready for bed. I got everything I was attempting or wanting to get done today. Tomorrow I'll start tackling some new stuff. Probably going to be like the living room and the guest room, as well as both bathrooms. The other bathroom needs a little TLC because we don't use it really. We use our master bathroom for everything. Since our son, my husband he bathes our son, things like that. We use the master bathroom for literally everyone. So, got to get those cleaned, both of them. They take so long, guys. That's why it's just such a headache sometimes. But today we got everything on my checklist done. Got the bedroom cleaned and freshened. Got the laundry done and folded. Got the meal cooked and got the kitchen together. So I'm going to show the kitchen because I always show the kitchen. But I may do, I don't know, probably tomorrow I'll have to redo it all because I cooked a lot. I'm feeling kind of lazy, guys. Not going to lie. I think I'm going to just go to bed and not clean the kitchen. So thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. If you haven't already, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.